Classical Conditioning Theory by Ivan Pavlov for Odisha B.Ed Education Honours. Classical conditioning theory, developed by Ivan Pavlov, is a fundamental theory in behavioral psychology that describes how learning occurs through associations between stimuli. This theory has significant implications for education, shaping how educators understand behavior modification, learning processes, and the impact of environmental stimuli on student behavior. Below is a comprehensive 16-mark answer detailing the theoretical framework of Pavlov's classical conditioning and its educational implications. Pavlov's classical conditioning theory originated from his experiments with dogs, which led to groundbreaking insights into learning processes. The central idea is that learning occurs through the association of stimuli, leading to conditioned responses. 1. Key concepts of classical conditioning. Unconditioned stimulus, UCS. This is a stimulus that naturally and automatically triggers a response without prior learning. In Pavlov's experiment, the UCS was food, which elicited salivation in dogs. Unconditioned response, UCR. This is the natural, unlearned response to the unconditioned stimulus. For instance, the dog's salivation in response to the food is the UCR. Conditioned stimulus, CAs. This is a previously neutral stimulus that, after being paired repeatedly with the unconditioned stimulus, begins to evoke a conditioned response. In Pavlov's experiment, the sound of a bell became the CAs after being associated with food. Conditioned response, CR. This is the learned response to the conditioned stimulus. After several pairings of the bell, CAs, with food, UCS, the dogs began to salivate, CR, in response to the bell alone. Extinction. This occurs when the conditioned stimulus is presented without the unconditioned stimulus repeatedly, leading to a decrease in the conditioned response. For example, if the bell is rung without presenting food, the dogs eventually stop salivating in response to the bell. Spontaneous recovery. This refers to the sudden reappearance of a conditioned response after a pause following extinction. After a period of no bell or food, ringing the bell may once again elicit salivation. Generalization. This occurs when a conditioned response is elicited by stimuli that are similar to the conditioned stimulus. For example, if a dog conditioned to respond to a bell also responds to a similar sound, like a whistle, generalization has occurred. Discrimination. This is the ability to differentiate between similar stimuli, responding only to the conditioned stimulus. In the case of the dogs, they would learn to salivate only in response to the specific bell sound used during conditioning. Though Pavlov's experimental setup. Harnessed dogs. Dogs were restrained in a harness, preventing them from moving. Salivary measurement. A tube was attached to the dog's salivary gland to measure the amount of saliva produced. Controlled stimuli. A bell or metronome was used as the neutral stimulus, which was consistently paired with the presentation of food, UCS. Through repeated trials, Pavlov demonstrated how a neutral stimulus could be transformed into a conditioned stimulus that elicited a learned response. Pavlov's classical conditioning has numerous implications for education, particularly in behavior management, teaching strategies, and understanding student motivation. Here are several key implications. 1. Behavior modification, reinforcement and punishment. Educators can apply principles of classical conditioning to shape student behavior through reinforcement, positive or negative, and punishment. For instance, providing praise, positive reinforcement, when a student exhibits desired behavior can strengthen that behavior over time. Creating positive associations. Teachers can create positive associations with learning activities. For example, if a teacher uses engaging and enjoyable activities in conjunction with difficult subjects, students may develop a positive emotional response toward those subjects. Though conditioned responses in learning environments. Managing classroom behavior, educators can utilize classical conditioning to manage behavior by consistently pairing a specific classroom cue, like a bell or a light, with a specific behavior, like quieting down. Students may learn to respond to the cue with the desired behavior automatically. Promoting focus and engagement, using specific stimuli, such as music or visual aids, can help establish an environment conducive to learning. For example, playing calm music during independent work may help students associate that sound with a focused, productive atmosphere. 3. Creating routine and structure. Establishing routines. Classical conditioning supports the importance of establishing routines in the classroom. By consistently pairing specific activities, like morning meetings, with the start of the day, students can develop a conditioned response to be prepared and focused at the start of class. Cues for transition. Teachers can use specific signals, like clapping or a chime, as conditioned stimuli to signal transitions between activities, helping students develop a conditioned response to shift their attention when they hear the signal. Char. Understanding anxiety and phobias. Addressing student anxiety. Understanding that anxiety can be conditioned helps educators recognize the roots of certain student fears, like fear of public speaking. Teachers can work to desensitize students by gradually exposing them to the anxiety inducing stimulus in a controlled manner, helping them to recondition their responses. Building a supportive environment. By fostering a supportive and understanding environment, educators can mitigate negative conditioned responses that lead to anxiety, thereby promoting a healthier learning atmosphere. 5. Implications for learning materials. Use of engaging resources. Educational materials should be engaging and appealing to create positive associations with learning. For example, incorporating colorful visuals, interactive technology, and hands-on activities can enhance the learning experience and foster enthusiasm for the subject matter. Visual cues and reminders. Teachers can use visual cues, such as charts, diagrams, and posters, that are consistently present during instruction to create associations with key concepts, aiding memory retention and recall. Chair. Assessment and feedback. Prompting and feedback. Immediate feedback can serve as a reinforcement mechanism that strengthens the connection between a student's response and the desired outcome. For example, promptly praising correct answers helps solidify positive learning behaviors. Conditioned learning environment. Assessments should be structured in a way that reinforces desired behaviors and attitudes toward learning. Creating a positive association with testing environments can reduce anxiety and improve performance. Ivan Pavlov's classical conditioning theory offers significant insights into how learning occurs through the association of stimuli. The key concepts of unconditioned stimuli, conditioned stimuli, and responses provide a framework for understanding behavior modification and learning processes. In education, classical conditioning principles can be applied to create positive learning environments, manage classroom behavior, and develop effective teaching strategies. By leveraging the concepts of reinforcement, cue-based learning, and structured routines, educators can enhance student engagement and motivation, leading to a more effective and supportive educational experience.